Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we are going to be reviewing Doctor Who Flux Part 1, the Halloween Apocalypse. And let me say, I really enjoyed it. Let me start off with that. I did like it. My main complaint, let me go ahead and get it out of the way, is the sound mixing. I don't know what it is with Modern Who these last couple seasons really, but the sound mixing sometimes is so bad to where like the music and everything and the sound effects is really loud, but the dialogue is hard to hear. It's like I want to turn up the TV so I can hear the dialogue, but then the music's blaring in my ears and I still can't hear the dialogue. There is a part at the beginning that I couldn't even hear. I was talking to my friend Alexa, who'd already seen it right after I finished watching it, but right before I started filming this. And she's having to explain something to me about the handcuffs. Well, she's like, well, maybe I did it when I had a Scottish accent. I'm like, really? I didn't catch that because we were talking about it. I can't hear what she's saying. The whole bit with the handcuffs at the beginning, I couldn't make out a lot of that. Part of that's the sound mixing. Part of that's Whittaker's Yorkshire voice, which is grating. And then at the end, that part at the end when the Flux is chasing her, and there's going to be spoilers, by the way. There are definitely spoilers. When that beam of light is shooting out of the TARDIS and she's talking while holding onto the console, I can't tell you shit she says there. I cannot hear any of it because of everything else going on. I literally need to go back and rewatch the episode with the closed captioning on, with the subtitles on, because I can't hear any of that part right there. It's just the noise. All I hear is the noise. And I can hear other people talking. I just can't make out what the heck she's saying. All of that out of the way, though. Really enjoyed the story. I like that it's very much part one of a six-parter here. It's like doing a review for a classic Who story for just the first episode. Much like I did with the Dominators and much like I've done with the Mind Robber. I have already watched the Mind Robber and filmed my review of the Mind Robber. I did a review for episode 1, 2, 3, and then the whole story as well, instead of just doing 4 and 5 separately. But much like when I was doing the Dominator by episode and Mind Robber by episode, this very much is just part one of a whole story, and it feels like that. There's a lot of things it sets up, a lot of mysteries it sets up, and whether or not those are going to pay off will remain to be seen. Much like with Moffat when he set up a lot of stuff that some of it pays off, some of it doesn't, some of it pays off and not as well as you hope. We'll have to see how that plays out over the course of Flux. But just going off this first part, I like it. You know, trying to figure out what's going on with this Claire girl and what's up with her. How even she seems confused about what's going on. The bit with the angel. The bit with the angel was creepy. That did actually make the way it shot it, the tension there with the angel was pretty well done. Although I thought Claire was dumb how she kept looking away for it. Literally, as I'm watching the episode and she's trying to fumble the key in and fumbling, and she's looking away briefly. I'm sitting there, and it had to at least be 3 or 4 times. I'm sitting there going, you dumb bitch, you dumb bitch. When it finally got her, I was like, you deserve that. Because I guarantee you, if that had been me, I'd have found a way to make that work. I can do it by feel. It might take me longer, but I'm holding my eyes open. I can close one eye and blink like this, so one eye's always watching her. Just, that should have been avoidable. But the way it was shot was nice and atmospheric, and I like it. The villain, I want to know more about the Flux villain. I like the little setup. I'm trying to figure out if the villain was imprisoned on Shada, because it shows an asteroid. It could have been Shada, and the two female guards, I'm guessing by the armor and the guns, they're supposed to be Gallifreyan, which doesn't make sense if all of the Time Lords are supposed to be dead. I'm a little confused, but it looks like they're holding the same gun that the Doctor had in Fugitive of the Jadoon, so it looks like a Time Lord gun. So are they supposed to be Time Lords? And if this one creature could always get away, why is he just picking now to get away? It definitely a lot more questions there, but I love the reveal that it really looks like it's going to dip into this Timeless Children stuff, because the reveal of, we danced across the galaxy fighting you and I. Apparently, before the Doctor had her memory, erased in her pre-Hartnell days, her and this villain, they fought and fought and fought and fought and fought across time and space, lots of times. It's one of the Doctor's old foes. Perhaps the fugitive Doctor fought against him at some point, probably while she was working for the Division. And while she doesn't remember, the Doctor doesn't remember the villain at all, the villain remembers all of it. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and to learn more of that backstory. Cinematically, this episode was really good. The effects, the special effects were top notch. I mean, the episode looks gorgeous. I've got to give it that. The episode just looks phenomenal. I love the special effects. They really put a lot of budget into this. I like the little acid world they're on at the beginning. I love everything with the Flux destroying stuff. I love the cinematic shots, like when they're in 1820 with it panning down. I really like the bit when it cuts to 201 years later in that nice like drone shot. It looks beautiful. It really does. The camera work is phenomenal. The Doctor, I think this could be the best performance I've seen Jodie Whittaker do as the Doctor. She actually feels like the Doctor in a lot of places. She has a lot of those little things she does to me that makes the Doctor here. Like that scene when she's reaching for something in her pockets and she's pulling all the stuff out of her pockets and handing it to Yaz. Just random stuff like the bag of chips. I love that. That's very Doctor. You know, you see Troughton do that. You see Tom Baker do that. And the fact she's doing it without even thinking it's silly. And then she says something to Yaz right then too when she runs off and Yaz is like, that's also very, I can't remember what she says, but I remember thinking at the time, that feels like the Doctor. And that feels like the Doctor and the companion kind of being like, I really like that. And then at the beginning, when they're first chained up, hanging upside down, she's like, I can't help but think, this is at least partly my fault. Again, that's a very Doctor thing to say and do. Especially if it's completely her fault. And Yaz immediately like, this is completely your fault. It's a great dynamic. I really get this sense that they've been traveling together for a bit now. They really seem like they have a dynamic that at some point they've really established a friendship and a type of relationship. So they really have this kind of dynamic that's apparent in this episode that I'm really, really enjoying. And I love how Yaz sometimes just kind of has that... which is really, really... fun. They really do seem like this dynamic where obviously Yaz really cares about the Doctor, but sometimes she probably wants to strangle the Doctor. They seem like they have that dynamic between them. I really enjoyed it. I really liked that opening scene with the whole acid thing, from what I could hear of it. Not only did it look nice, but it was a nice way to get everybody kind of pumped for the episode. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of adrenaline happening. Them flying around on the rocket thing and then landing in the TARDIS. It really was a good way to get the old blood pumping and get you fired up for the credits to start. And I always like those credits. Those are, I think, probably my favorite modern Who credits. They're up there. I really like the credits in this and that version of the theme they use. But the story really is going all up. I like Danny from what I've seen of him. I adjusted to his accent really quickly. I thought I was going to have a little bit of trouble with John's accent, but I really got clicking with it really quick. I got on board with it to where it wasn't bothering me. Like Whittaker's, I still have trouble with that Yorkshire accent of hers. For some reason, it grates on me a little bit. Which, to be fair, I live in the States. She may say the same thing about mine. But I really liked Danny. I love the scene when the kind of dog guy first shows up and they're talking and Dan thinks he's in a costume. Hey, you just broke down my door. You can't do that. Get out of here. I'll call the cops or whatever. I love that whole scene. And he's like, you look like a dog. What did you call me? Yeah, and he's feeling on his face like he thinks it's a mask. And the dog, he's just so like indignant about it. What are you doing? And then he finally just hits him with the stun thing and puts him in the little cell. That whole scene's hilarious. This really does a good job of mixing the seriousness of the situation with humorous aspects, kind of like the older MCU movies were really good at doing, and even Classic Who was really good at doing, and even Russell's era is really good at doing, and Moffat's to an extent. I like that it balances humorous stuff in with all of the seriousness of what's going on in the story. When Yaz first meets Danny, that's pretty funny when she's disabled. I love the fact that she can disable all of that so easily on this alien tech. Again, you get that idea she's been traveling with the Doctor a while, and that they've been in these kind of situations several times before because, well, we all know how the Doctor does tend to get involved in things, as Troughton put it. So I really like that. And then learning of kind of the Wookiee life debt thing that the dog race kind of has with all of the humans, which is a nice little Star Wars nod. I also love that bit at the beginning when he's talking to Danny of, you will come with me. What are you doing? No, I won't. It's a nice little Star Wars I enjoyed that. I liked that. I thought that was fun. I still don't quite know what was going on with the one couple who destroyed the alarm, and then the guy dies, and the woman turns back into one of the creatures like the main bad guy. I don't know if, he assimilated her into that person, or if she really was that person and she'd been some kind of converted into a human with her memories erased, kind of like maybe what happened to the doctor. The fact she says, "I don't know why am I thinking thank you," it's really weird on that. I'm not quite sure what's up with her. But I definitely want to know more about that mystery. Again, while I like the episode, it's definitely not a self-contained episode. It definitely feels like a classic Doctor Who format, which is good because it could really give the story a chance to breathe. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I love the Sontaran design. I absolutely love the Sontaran design. Very classic Who. It's like the classic Who design with a modern day budget to it, where they could actually use money to make the costume look better, and it looks really good. That was an excellent choice on whoever came up to go with that route. Looks great. Looking forward to seeing more of the Sontarans. Looks like we're going to get to see some real Sontarans, since for the first time since Series 4, and I'm really excited about that. But I liked this story a lot. I was talking to my friend Alexa, and we were just going back and forth about the stuff we liked about it. It's easily the most I've felt Jodie Whittaker feel like the Doctor. She really does have her moments, like when she's talking about the Division, and when she's, when the dog guy's trying to leave, and she's, "Oh, no, I stopped your ship. I'll use my energy weapon. Oh, no, I stopped that too." That does feel like the Doctor to me. She, as much as this is probably going to piss some of my viewers off, because some people just give Whittaker so much shit, she felt like the Doctor to me in this story. And that's the first time I can ever say it. She's had moments in previous stories, but I've never just watched a full episode where I was like, yeah, she's the Doctor. But here, she feels like the Doctor. Like, I'm not super on board, yeah, she's the Doctor. But she really did feel like the Doctor a lot more here. Like, I don't know if she put more work into learning the character or working the character, or how Chibnall's did with the script. This is definitely probably one of the best Chibnall scripts I've seen. I really like what he's doing here. Which, again, Chibnall did Broadchurch, and I love Broadchurch. He's really good at doing that type of a big story in separate chunks, which is kind of what Flux is doing, and that's his strong suit. So I am looking forward to seeing the next episode. I really am pleased with Yaz in this, with John in this, with the Doctor in this. Oddly enough, I really liked Whittaker as the Doctor in this. And seeing where it goes from here. So yeah, I'm really excited. I approached this with an open mind. I've been pleasantly surprised at how much I really liked this first episode. Again, it has to pay off. It has to have a good ending, or it could affect that. It could be like Listen. I liked most of Listen until the last 5 minutes, and the last 5 minutes of Listen ruined it. So this could be the same way. It could be, the ending could be terrible, and it just ruins the whole thing. But just going off this first part, really, really liked it. So, the Halloween Apocalypse. What did you think of it? What did you think of Jodie Whittaker's performance as the 13th Doctor in it? Comment down below and let me know. I'm always interested to find out what you guys think. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do, there is a link to my Patreon down in the description below. My entry-level tier is only $2 a month. But most importantly, thank you for watching.